Hello, this is going to be One Piece chapter 970, Odin versus Kaido. And this chapter was very good indeed. And yeah, I've been expecting this for quite a while. So I want to comment on Kaido's scar in the first place. So when I first learned that Odin gave Kaido the scar, I was kind of annoyed with the power inconsistencies because at that point we didn't really know who Odin was. We just knew he was Momonosuke's dad, and we never knew what kind of guy he was going to be like, and we just assumed this random fodder type person put a scar on a Yonko like Kaido, and he's meant to be untouchable. So that obviously didn't agree well with me. But as we learn through this flashback arc, I'm gonna call this an arc because this is pretty much the a mini arc, right? So as we learn through the mini arc of Odin's flashback, we get a different appreciation for who Odin really is and where he stands in terms of power and skill. So now that I know everything about Odin and his power level wise, I'm now I guess I have to retract my opinion on how Kaido got the scar because I thought it was kind of BS he got a scar, to be honest, from a no-name character. But now that I see that Odin has quite a great significance in terms of the story and his stature as well, being one of Whitebeard's captain at one point and also being on the crew with Gold Roger. So I can see the merit behind it now. So now I appreciate the fact that Kaido got a scar from Odin, and and especially in this chapter because I've kind of read ahead. This chapter was quite good actually, but I was kind of annoyed with how Kaido eventually wins against Odin, but it was kind of foreshadowed that he would lose this way, and I kind of predicted he would lose this way, to be honest, because I did say in our earlier video that he would lose in some underhanded technique and not in a one-on-one fair and square fight. And yet we saw exactly what happened. He thought that they had Momonosuke hostage when it was just the power of the transform fruit, and because of that, he let his guard down, and we just see Kaido delivering a big smack to Odin's face. But yeah, this was quite crazy indeed. So it was kind of a fight between Odin's group and Kaido's group, and yeah, and this is one panel I can actually see King. He's kind of like a squiggle, but I can see King and Queen, and that's quite interesting indeed. So, and we also learn about the what's it called, the ninjas, so they help out a little bit as well. And it was quite interesting actually. Kaido actually admits that he was weak at one point, and that he could have lost to Odin, but it was all about timing, and I guess the timing was right now. So, that was quite interesting because we never hear Kaido ever admit that he could have been defeated. So yeah, that was pretty crazy. So, and we also learn about why Odin was dancing in the first place because Kaido kind of had the whole Wano citizens in a hostage situation, so he couldn't have made the first move. But he also admits that if he teamed up with like Hyuguro and all the samurais and gangsters around the country could have gathered as their enemy, then they would be in big trouble because yeah, Kaido says that he was short on men at the time. So I guess that's kind of why he went on his he kind of what you call double crossed Odin on the deal because now he has the upper hand. So he was kind of lying low until he had the upper hand. So yeah, that was kind of scummy from Kaido, to be honest. And I don't know, I didn't expect Kaido to be quite a bit of a rat, to be honest, like a snake. I always thought he was going to be an honorable kind of fighter, like everyone else. But then he makes a reference to what's it called, Whitebeard and Roger, because he says he knows their weakness. He literally says you're like the type of pirate Whitebeard and Roger were, a powerful type, but has a certain weakness. So he kind of exploited their weakness for kindness anyway. So yeah, that makes sense. And we see a few panels of what do you call of the retainers versus the pirates, which ain't which was quite interesting, but it's kind of what do you say, more filler type, to be honest, because they don't really add anything to the plot. And the main attraction from this chapter we saw was definitely when Odin versus Kaido, and he does this big slash, and we see him do his what's it called? We see him use his special sword as well, and damn. I gotta say that was pretty badass the way he actually cuts Kaido as well, and we can actually see Kaido feels pain. But then again, I don't know if Kaido was as strong as he is now, but I doubt he was as. I doubt he's weaker. But damn though, the way how much damage he did, that was pretty crazy, and we can see that even back then he was called the Invincible Master, as all of his lackeys looked in shock as he, Kaido gets pretty much KO'd in one hit. And to be honest, I feel like in that moment in time, Odin could have beat Kaido. Like that's how I assumed. That's my perception from the chapter. Like Odin was like not way stronger, but Odin definitely had the upper hand in combat strength 1v1 anyway. But but unfortunately he loses because of a trickery that they use against him, and because of that, Odin eventually loses. And yeah, it was kind of his own naivety in the first place and his kindness that got him killed, and even in the situation anyway. But yeah, and with that, they're being put in jail and now they're on the execution block. So yeah, that's interesting indeed to see. But yeah, that the strike was definitely impressive. That's the best part of the chapter. But seeing Odin fall like that is definitely quite annoying and painful because we know he would have won that fight square and square. But I guess there's nothing you can do despite how frustrating it is. But yeah, this chapter was I liked it a lot, and especially to see that strike against Kaido. I don't know that I felt like that strike had some real weight behind it, and I could feel this, the strength of Odin in this chapter, and that was amazing. And this little arc has really made me really appreciate who Odin is as a character. And I'm guessing there's only one or two chapters left now since Odin's been captured. There's not much to the story left, and the only thing that's left now is for the group to pretty much time travel in very soon, actually. So yeah, that was it. Bye.